was 11 years in the making. We were so lucky. You know where we're having a lot of fun? In America's Got Talent.
I can tell. This solid partnership you've had for a long time. I mean, this mutual respect, is so rare. There is no diva behavior.
We were the #1 show in America for Latinos. The future of the talent business, you have to figure out how to also have a commercial relationship, a direct commercial relationship with your audience. That's your business.
She's in people's home every day.
Every day.
Still. Hi, I'm Jim Fielding. Welcome to Ask for an Answer. Hello, kind and beautiful human beings. Here we are at another episode of Ask for an Answer with Jim Fielding. This is an exciting episode for me. I was thinking when we were getting ready, I don't even know how long we've known each other, but we'll figure that out. I'm so excited to have Luis here. When I was doing these episodes, these LA episodes, I was like, thinking of my LA story and like, who would I want to spend time with? And you are such a huge part of the LA story. I had to spend time with you.
Thank you.
So please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My claim to fame is I'm Jim's friend, and I benefited from his wisdom. I'm Luis Balaguer. Sofía Vergara and we started Latin World Entertainment 30 years ago this year. Yeah, we're going into our 31st year, and we've done it all. We started in the Spanish-speaking markets, and we kind of like grew from there and did the famous crossover. And for us, it was Ricky Martin back then, who had done the crossover in music, but no one had really done it in
entertainment,
on television, especially from like Univision or Telemundo. No one had done that. So to have a blonde Latina, that was a tough sell back then. Yeah.
And amazing. And you have a birthday coming up. We just talked about that.
Birthday. I'm going to be 58.
Wow, that's amazing.
Sunday.
30 years. So you and I met because you were kind enough to find us to work on a brand plan, basically, for Miss Sophia, which
we were introduced by Michael Francis.
Dear
friend, both of us.
Amazing. And
we needed urgent help.
You guys were fine. It wasn't urgent, but I think it was such a fun project to work on, especially meeting you and the team that you had already, which was very strong, but then also getting to spend time with her and understanding what a business person she was and what an entrepreneur. Like, you guys had a real vision for business. Like, you understood the entertainment and what she wanted to accomplish with that, but then you understood the business side too early. I think earlier, the first product, like the famous product, was the calendar, right? Like, actually, that's what started it.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that is really where everything started. We started on Univision. Univision in the 90s, they were not paying big salaries. They were not union, SAG. So pretty much we were not making any money, but for our egos, it was great to know that we were the #1 show in America for Latinos. So very quickly we're scratching our heads saying, okay, this is unsustainable. We like the good life. That's why we're in entertainment and we're not making any money. So Sofia came up with the idea, why don't we sell a calendar? And I remember that we first convinced a good photographer first, a friend of us, to see what it would take to do the calendar. The good thing is that in wardrobe we had like $10, just 12 G-strings, that was it. G-strings, and we just had to catch the sunset. And then I convinced a printer to front me the printing of the first 25,000 calendars, and I would get the distributor. Then I got a magazine distributor to distribute the calendars and pay them first, and then after that, pay us. Jim, we ended up selling over 1 million calendars, and we owned everything. We did not have any. Once we paid the printer, and then we just had to pay the distributor. It was like $1 or something like that. So we were making a lot of money. We learned back then that the real business was doing business with the audience, not so much with the network. And that's something that
was an early insight. You were ahead of your time.
But it was for out of desperation. Yeah. it was not like, oh my God, I went to Harvard and that's what I learned over there. No, I was just hungry.
Yes.
We wanted to to have a better life. She had Manolo. I was just starting my family. So for us, we really wanted to. We loved what we were doing. We wanted to stay in entertainment. You know, every month that we had a job in entertainment was a good job.
Yeah, a good time.
So then that transformed into what you saw in Walmart when we did the Walmart deal, and in a way, we Michael very smartly took us to you, Michael Francis, because until that point we ran our company like our kitchen. It was, $10 came in, this for you, this for me, this for expenses, and next year we start from zero again. And I remember then, first of all, once you started looking at our company, you know, we were impressed, and actually we had built something that had value, that
tremendous value
for us was like, okay, this. I
think we were shocked in a good way, like pleasantly surprised,
And for us, this is a phrase that you gave us, and I still use it every day. You gave us the 3 buckets that we have in our business, and today still we use that. We pretty much say, okay, is this the bucket that we're gonna own? Is it the bucket that we're gonna share, or is this an endorsement bucket? So pretty much all of our business it's like that, and you help us understand. Really, because until then also, I think intuition was a big thing for our generation,
Very much gut,
gut, and you would go, jump in, and your intuition told you that it was over there, then you had to go. So you kind of like made us stop, because until then we felt like we were going at 100 miles per hour, and we never stopped. Everything was fixed on the run, and kind of like made us look at ourselves, made us understand what we were doing. The zoom out kind of like helped us, and looking today. That's the business actually that helped us during the pandemic when everything stopped. Our licensing business, people were redecorating their homes. We were selling sofas like never before. Our tops business went through the roof. Our bottoms business went actually down because people were in their underwear.
Because they were at home.
So it was interesting.
But I mean but I think that was the thing where you were an amazing client to work with, because when we kind of peeled back the covers, and peel back the layers of the onion, we're like, there is so much here. And I think the other thing that we learned together was it was more important what you said no to than what you said yes to, because she could do anything. I mean, that was the thing. That company that you guys had built, LatinWE and the Sofía Enterprises, could do anything. And I think, one of my biggest memories from that time is when we went to the shareholders meeting, and I knew the first time that I met her. Obviously you're starstruck when you meet her, and you're like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And she walks in, and then she sits there, and we start talking about the business, and you're like, oh my God, she's so sharp, and she's got her, she's very clear on what she wants to do. But I remember when she was hungry, and we stopped for barbecue, basically.
For ribs.
Right, for ribs, And that's the first time that I had been around, really understanding the power of celebrity, right? Where you went in first, because we had to be like, okay, is there a place she can sit where she's not out in the middle of everything? I just learned so much on that trip, and then I remember walking in to the restaurant, and then people realizing it was her, because it's obviously her. She can't really disguise herself. And I remember how gracious she was but the people she was most gracious with were the restaurant staff, remember?
Oh, they feed her. Oh my gosh, she's always nice.
Yeah, I mean, the chef and the waiters and everybody at the end, they all wanted a picture with her. And she was so kind and warm and like just professional. I mean, it was crazy.
And so off-brand what she ate.
She loves to eat. This is the thing. This is out there in the public. Sofía Vergara loves to eat. She has a sweet tooth.
Like a truck driver.
Yes.
I mean, like she would ask for 2 entries, 2 salads, the chicken, the salmon.
I think we had everything on the menu.
Yeah. Remember that table? What
the
it was?
Sides.
There was nothing. I think, pretty much everything unhealthy.
And she ate everything. And well, I also love too, which I think is just something from her heritage and everything. When you would visit her at her house, like the cakes, like there was always cakes and cookies and dulce and not de leche.
3 cakes. There will be literally choices, 18 cakes. Lines.
Choices.
Like, no, we make fun.
But then she worked out hard too.
Look.
Because I was like, how does she maintain that figure? And I saw what she did, and I was like, okay.
She hates working out, by the way.
Yeah, but she does
it because she wants to eat. She would tell you if he was up to her, she works out because she needs to eat. She cannot, and she eats like. First, second, third course, and
no, she loves dessert.
Yeah, there's no meal without dessert. So for us, it's been an amazing ride. I have to say, because first of all, we had to endure and learn how to work, and we got our chops in the Latin market where everything was always. In a fun, chaotic, disorganized way that ended up working amazing. Somehow everything fell.
Yes.
So when we moved to LA and we started working with people like you, the studios, we were impressed. And like, you guys don't yell in productions or in meetings, In a Latin meeting, everybody was yelling. It was about not who had the best idea, but who was the loudest,
Yeah.
So for us, we appreciate so much our ride here because, we got to experience pretty much every aspect of the industry, and when you do that, you get also to appreciate and not to worry about things that are look, we went and they don't have the right catering. Well, okay, order Uber Eats. That's it. Oh my God, the AC was too cold. Okay, just warm. You and I have seen ridiculous stories here that then for us we're so foreign to those, then it's part of the show.
I mean, I think that's the thing. I think there's so many amazing things about spending time with you guys, but one, and I want to ask more questions about it, but like this solid partnership you've had for a long time. I mean, this mutual respect, is so rare in Hollywood. Let's be clear. I mean, you're talking about 30 years. And I think the other thing was, there is no diva behavior. There's no, and when people found out I had done stuff with her, they'd be like, oh, everybody was like, and I'm like, there's nothing to tell. She's smart. She's hardworking. If she tells you to be there at 9, she's there at 9. If she says she's working until 10:30, you work until 10:30. Like, it was a pleasure. I mean, honestly, it was just such a pleasure to work with her. And I thought, and then now knowing, like when Griselda came out, because that was part of the discussion all the way back then.
Yeah, that was a plan back then.
It was a plan. And I remember watching it, and it was like, I got emotional. First off, she was amazing in it. And it was such a good story. But I got emotional because I was like, I remember her talking about this and why this was so important to her. And to see a plan manifested is so hard in this town. There's so many, you go to so many meetings where there's like these amazing plans and everybody has all these ideas and they never come to life. And that one came to life.
And risky for her.
Very.
What I respect about my partner is for 30 years, I've seen her reinvent herself and take risk where she starts from zero.
Yeah.
You know, she started in Colombia. She became a name in Colombia.
Yeah.
She had the guts to grab her newborn son, move to the United States and start from zero in Miami.
Strong.
You know, get it, raise the kid, then, you know, become a name in the U.S. Latino market, moved to LA. And again, we were starting from zero. You know, there was a time in our career that it felt like every time we felt we made it, we made a choice, then it was really humbling for us. And suddenly we would go back to the end of the line and then trust that things were going to get better. And really moving to LA it really tested her because it took us almost 8 years to book a Modern Family. I was an expert in picking shows that would get canceled right after they would air.
She was doing a lot of pilots, right?
Man,
every
season we had a pilot. It was, and you know, first we got a pilot and it would not get picked up. Okay,
right.
So we learned that, you know.
Yes.
Then we get a pilot, and you go to upfronts, and it's like, oh my God, we got picked up, and then suddenly you land in Friday nights, you know, at 11, and it's like, okay, we're dead, you know, and it kept happening, and it kept happening, and it kept happening. And when Modern Family came, man, we were already like, okay, I don't believe this. If this doesn't work, you know, I don't know what the hell we're going to do.
And then it just kept going. I mean...
And then it just, from the first episode, it just became...
I remember the first... Well, this is so funny because our paths didn't cross at that point, but I was at Disney when it came out. And I remember Bob Iger talking about a pilot they had seen, which I then later found out was Modern Family. And he was like, I think it's the funniest thing I've seen in like the last 10 years. I remember him talking about it. And he didn't tell us the name. He didn't tell us who was in it. And then like a year or two later, the penny kind of dropped. And I was in a meeting with him. And I said, when you were telling that story, that was Modern Family, right? And by that time, Modern Family, it was already skyrocketing. But it was risky, honestly. For that was a risky show for network television. I mean,
back then, it was the first gay kiss on television. You know,
I mean, the Latin wife with the older white man, like,
and not come across like a gold digger.
Yeah,
because you would believe their love story. Those were one of the things that at the beginning we were, you know, concerned about.
Right.
But no, you fell in love with the family and
each one of those characters.
And still today, everywhere we go to places where you would not think, my God, we were in Saudi Arabia. Everybody was like, oh my God, Modern Family, and it's always on.
It's always on. I was going to say, it's between streaming and all these platforms and stuff. I feel like it's always on. It's so funny because I knew I was seeing you, and like 2 weeks ago in my feed, up pops Medea Goes to Jail, and I was like, I had completely forgotten that. Or I think it's Medea Goes to Jail.
Yeah, Medea Goes to Jail. Yeah. Tyler Perry.
And she's like the serial killer that's like in Medea's cell. And I was like, my God, that's Sofía. Like, it was so funny that popped up.
That was us trying. We were trying to do
comedy,
movies.
by the way,
we were doing comedies, and then when we met you, I remember when we. The first season of Modern Family, that it did so well, we were terrified that it was going to get canceled. You know, so we got to work right away, and I wanted to show Sofía's talent, and that's how Griselda came, you know, to our hands. But Griselda was still alive, and we didn't want to empower this drug dealer and murder all these people and suddenly make her a queen. So we had to wait, you know, for her to get murdered. And everything, you know, happened. And then again, taking another risk with her career, where she already is this solid comedy star, you know, and suddenly she comes up with this drama. And for me, the scariest thing, and I've never said this, something that happens when you see Sofía, automatically you laugh.
Yeah,
if you see her on TV, you see her on a TV spot, or in a movie, you automatically laugh. The biggest test for Griselda, it was when you saw Sofía for the first time as Griselda, and you forget about her. That you never laughed, and
she was lost in there.
You never think about Sofía Vergara while you're watching Griselda, and it shows really the type of chops that she's, because Sofía, by talking to her, you would not think that she takes herself so seriously, because she doesn't, But then when you start peeling the layers, she's a very serious actor. She's a very serious business person. She's a very serious family member and a very serious friend,
No, for sure. And again, the things that we didn't know about her, I mean, that you knew being there, I mean, when she did Broadway, right? And that's the other thing was like, yes, she's a mother, and I knew that because I knew that story, but then you didn't realize how many other people in her family she was like taking care of, and had brought all these people from Colombia because they weren't safe, and like the responsibility that, I mean, she's
the matriarch.
I was going to say the matriarch. I was just going to say that word. I mean, like she really assumed responsibility for so many people.
But Jim, now, you see her now, a successful woman, she assumed this responsibility when she was in her early 20s.
I know.
And,
what did you see that in her? Like, what made you think when you did become her partner? Like, did you think it was going to be 30 years? No. Like, when you first were like...
No, but I knew that she was going to be the biggest star in the world,
Yeah,
and
right.
Her personality was the same as today. She has not changed. She still makes fun of herself.
Yes.
She still doesn't take anything like, oh my God, they're taking me seriously. They must be crazy.
She doesn't.
No, and she really enjoys. She walks into her house and she enjoys it. She buys jewelry and she enjoys it. Everything she does, she really. But really, she started being a boss when she was like 22 years old, and that was what made me take her so seriously. And that's why when we started the company, we said, let's be partners. Because in case this acting thing or hosting back then.
Did you meet her in Miami
in
or
Miami,
before that? In Miami.
Miami, she was the host of Fuera de Serie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she was traveling the world, in a tank top, because that's what ratings dictated.
And with that little baby at home.
Yeah, and
he was young.
A lot of work. It was, Sofía has never been afraid to work her ass off, and has never been afraid to take serious risk than anybody else will say, oh no, this would cripple my career if it goes wrong. She doesn't think that way. Once she commits, I mean, she'll drive me crazy every moment of the
She has a lot of ideas. I love her. She has lots of ideas.
And she usually starts every phrase by saying, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You are the expert, but boom, 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 boom. And everybody in the room is like, oh my God, she's spot on everything she said. And
I think that's what I think is so interesting about your partnership, though, Luis, because you are the perfect, like when you get to work with you guys, you are the perfect complement of idea fountain, she's an idea fountain. Yeah. Like I would describe her as an idea fountain. She's an innovator. She's got her pulse. She knows her customer. Yeah. She way knows her customer. She knows who watches Modern Family. She knows them and respects them, which I think is such a huge thing. Like talks up to them and is so grateful for them. And then you have an amazing ability to take the idea fountain and edit it and make it into something like you do. You know how to interpret her, I guess is what I'm saying.
I sell her passions.
Yeah.
She's passionate about jeans and fashion. We package that and we bring it to Walmart.
Yeah, same thing like with the home decor and stuff.
The same, or the eyewear or now our deal with Skechers, She comes in with very clear, she knows she wants them to look pretty. She wants to look pretty. She knows that they're the most comfortable shoes. So now she knows what to do. once she tells me, "Oh my God, this would be great," I already know that I don't have to give her talking points to learn about anything because she already learned 10 times more than I would ever.
Totally. No, no.
Exactly.
If the idea is going, she will maximize.
She's usually the expert in our team. When we follow a lot her taste, and like you said, she would tell you, "Oh yeah, that would sell in Walmart, perfect," and she would be. Spot on.
It was scary.
That's going to be the number one jean next season, or that's going to be the best color for this season. She's really.
Well, the other thing she is that you both are is she's a storyteller. Because she loves stories, but like when she named the jeans, remember when she named the jeans after people in her life? And not everybody knew that, but it was like that was her vision for that gene, and that was the gene, and that was her gene, and that was her gene, and that was
the niece and the aunt.
The niece, and
because everybody has a different body.
I know, and she was
this
so
one is short
clear.
And sexy, and the other one is the tall one.
This one has a rounder bum. I remember, and I was like,
this one is voluptuous, And then we would do the shoot, and everybody would be in diets for like 2 weeks and show up, like 4 sizes, and she would.
She's like, no, I built it for you. Yes. No, I remember. It was so. We
would have to move the shoots.
She was very clear, just very, very clear. Is Griselda the thing you guys are most proud of, like on the creative side, or Modern Family? Like, is there one that she?
I think Griselda is the one that we really produced, it was really
incubated for a long time.
It was 11 years in the making. We were so lucky to meet Eric Newman and Bella Baharia from Netflix and Ted, and really through their support. Again, it was a drama. You would not. Now it's easy to see Sofia doing a drama. Back then, it was like, hold on, what? And yeah, it was something that gives us a lot of pride. But where we're having a lot of fun? In America's Got Talent.
I can tell.
It is, for her, the best job she's ever had. And for me to be there in the audience watching while people are having the best day in their life, where their dreams are coming through, they're in a stage dressed as stars, it's such a good vibe show that we want to stay doing that forever.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because when you watch her on it, she's so genuinely having a good time. And she's so blown away by the talent on the stage.
She would pay NBC to do that show if it wasn't for me.
Don't say that.
I'm the one, you got to pay her more. But she would pay to do that show. And with Simon is such a
you
partner.
You just feel it. I mean, and it comes through in the show. What did offers change for her after Griselda? I mean, did she get dramatic scripts that she would have never gotten before, like when you were looking at future projects? I know. I thought it
was going to be a tremendous yes. I have to say that we've learned that in our career, we have to keep developing for ourselves, because people really don't think on a Sofia character for every movie that they're making. So we need to create our own opportunities. And we got a lot of offers, but they were not the right offers. And they were not, it would not feel to me or to her like a build-out from Griselda. So we rather just, keep developing and doing something fun than where she would have
that
fun.
makes sense. I mean, I think, especially the level she's at now in the industry, she should, in the merchandising world and the consumer products world, you guys understood early on about controlling your destiny. And I think you're saying the same thing in the content world, is like,
we have to
own the story.
Look, you say the licensing. I'm very proud about what we've done in licensing.
Very much.
And our business was put to a huge test that really could have hurt us in a big way during the pandemic and during the strikes. And we were able to fall back in our business than it's the way we interact with a lot of members of our audience. And I think that the future of the talent business, you have to figure out how to also have a commercial relationship, a direct commercial relationship with your audience. Because when things like this happen, it wipes out. And look, the reality is that there hasn't been that comeback after the strike. Then you say, oh my God, everybody's working. No, I still know a lot of people that are still struggling to find jobs, and good people, with good careers. And so I think that in today's world, you gotta mind your social media, you gotta mind your relationship with your audience, because at the end, that's your business, you know.
And she has that Modern Family annuity where she's in people's home every day.
Every day.
Still.
And in a fun character, like she says, oh my God, I love doing Modern Family, because she would tell jokes all morning, and then by 2 p.m, she'll be home and feeling great. Griselda was tough. Griselda was like, she was
just the
murdering
hair and
people,
the hair and makeup,
shooting people, cutting heads, and then go home. It was like, oh my God.
Throw people through tables.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh gosh, okay. No, but I mean, just the metamorphosis she went through physically with the hair and the makeup and everything. It was like, that was torturous. You could see it.
It was nuts.
Because you didn't recognize her, to your point.
And she became a character actor without her thinking that she was one, because she learned how to smoke. She had to even learn how to do cocaine. She didn't know how to snore.
And it looked real.
Yeah.
She knew.
The director was teaching her all those fun stuff.
It worked. It worked.
It did.
We loved it. I mean, and everybody loved it. And she got nominated. And I mean, my Lord, she deserved everything.
And what we've felt from Griselda is an international impact that only Netflix today can give you. We see the differences when you're launching or marketing a show anywhere versus Netflix. And I have to tell you, if it was up to me, Netflix would be my house forever. The team there knows the audience like nobody's business. They if you let them guide you, they come with amazing stuff to the table. And in today's world, if you want to reach people, you're either in YouTube or you're on Netflix. That's where all the fish are. And
totally.
And everybody's playing catch up, and now I think we're getting closer and closer to shoppable content and shoppable technologies that are going to turn your TV into America's next aisle. So for us, it's exciting because we want to create more products. We're looking for bigger partnerships, and
like what? Well, I'm sure you're always negotiating something, but like, what are the big things on the horizon? Is there stuff you can talk about? Like,
Well, we renegotiated all of our licenses last year. In the last 2 years, we pretty much negotiated 100% of our licenses, and now we're getting ready to really step up with a partner in a much, much stronger global way. So now growth for us, it's in Europe, in Australia, and in Asia. We feel very, we will still grow Latin America and the US, but our attention and where we see a lot of business growth for us is over there.
Yeah.
So that's and that for me, I've always been very excited about technology and science and data science and kind of like, in a way reassures you or teaches you, that you're in the wrong place or in the right place. So I'm looking forward for this new world where every pixel will be commercialized in every content that you watch. And, I want to see, I want to be able to buy in an image anything from the paint in the wall to the rug to the cream that you use or your watch. I feel that that's where we're going, and
no, I agree with you.
I'm excited for that.
I agree with you. No, and I mean, I think there's very few celebrity brands or whatever you want to call it that would have the ability to maximize in that space, but you guys can, like, because you've laid the groundwork for so many years. I mean, it's like, you know, as your friend, it's kind of fun to step back and watch you guys be able to, you still work very hard every day, but I'm saying you've worked hard for a long time. And in a weird way, now you've laid a lot of pipe, you've laid a lot of foundation, and you should be able to reap the rewards. And she should be able to do the acting gigs she wants to do, and she should be able to do AGT if she wants to. Like, I mean, she's earned it. Like, you know, I mean, if anybody has put in their time, it's her. And you've been right there with her. And I think that was brilliant on her part, again, when she was 22 and you first met her. Like, the fact that she was like, I need a partner in this. Like, and you guys just built up this mutual respect and trust and vision. And like you said, sometimes you were making it up as you went along. That's fine. That's fine. That's why when we came in, I remember telling my team, I was like, we don't want to process them to death. We don't want to like scare them, right? Because they're doing a lot of really smart things. So we've got to look at ways we can fine tune and tweak. There was not a problem. A lot of times when you bring in, that's what I thought was so interesting when you brought us in. A lot of times when I get brought in, I always say people bring us in out of vision or out of pain. You brought us in out of vision.
For us definitely was.
Yeah. A lot of times when people hire a consultant and advisor, it was pain, right? Their business was dropping. They were making mistakes. They had bad licensing partners, all that kind of stuff. You were not that camp. You were, we're good. We want to be better. We want to watch what's going on. I mean, it was such a different energy, is what I'm saying.
We were looking for an adult to tell us how to structure it, to keep growing it from there. You know, so for us, it was the whole thing of, do you want to be a branded house or a house of brands?
Yeah, that was such a big discussion.
But those are, look, until then, I remember that everything we did again was for intuition. So for us to meet with a professional that would make us think about these things and would make us, you know, it really.
We would give you homework and you would do it. That's what was amazing.
Yeah, and it gave us the four walls to think, you know, of when we're building, okay, is this something that she's really passionate about and she can talk all day long?
Yeah, natural.
Yes. Is this a great partner? Is this a best-in-class partner? Then it's going to deliver to me a product that would sell without Sofía.
Yeah.
Then it's so good that even if Sofía was not in it, it would. So those were the kind of like the criteria that we were trying. We wanted always to be the dumbest person in the room. So, you know, and I always did a great job at that. So.
No, but I mean, you did homework, you listened, you were respectful, you asked good questions. I mean, it was like a dream engagement. Like, it was like, and I was like, however long we work here, I was like, I was just wanting to always be, it's funny you were saying, like, I always wanted to be just super present, because I was like, something interesting is going on here. Like, I don't really know. We didn't know all the answers either, but I was like, I think one of the biggest things even for us was we've got to help them know what to say no to and what to say yes to, because I was blown away by how much was pitched at you guys. Like, I mean, I'm like, she could be endorsing bacon. Like, there was always so much stuff.
Joke with her that we always have that nail fungus ad ready. And they have an amazing offer on the table.
Adult diapers.
Adult diapers, you know. We are lined up for all of those. But let's just try to stay a little longer with,
we don't really want to do the Depends ad. But she's, I mean, I know her now. She's going to work until the end anyway. I mean, like, we're going to be seeing her and stuff in 20 years. So, I mean, because she loves it.
Yeah. And again, I remember I used to see Betty White, and I said, "Okay, that's where she's going." You know,
so
I can tell that I can tell Sofia in her 70s and 80s, it's gonna be that.
Betty White, Carol Burnett,
and Carol
another
Burnett,
one. I mean, Carol Burnett. Like when I see Carol Burnett on her show now on Palm Royale, I'm like, oh my god, like.
I love
loving every. I do too.
Enrique.
Of course
and,
you do.
Oh my God, yeah.
Of course you do. Like no, I mean that. Yeah, but I see her. I see Betty White. June Squibb, 96, starring in movies. I'm like, okay.
And that's Sofia. Sofia is such a brand today already that she can do whatever she wants until whenever she wants. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so we're almost. I know I'm watching my time. Tell me, like personally, you became a grandfather, which blows me away.
Yes.
And you have this birthday coming.
Okay. So
and what are you focusing on in your personal life?
Since you moved and left us.
I know I left when I went to the other side.
Since you left, exactly. I got a divorce, and my ex-wife and I are best of friends.
Which is so nice.
And today, actually, we were in the family group chat, you know, saying how lucky we are of being such strong family unit, you know, still after 5 years after the divorce. Then, you know, I feel like I have another chapter in my life, and I was telling you right before we started, you know, that my birthday is on Sunday, and suddenly on Thanksgiving Day, you know, I was laying in bed before going to Sofia's house. I think I was gonna, and I said, you know what, I'm sober. Exposed to people, the small talk constantly, that I really would love. Now is the moment to do the cross-country trip. Oh, I had just gotten a beautiful car. So I'm ready for you, baby. You know, let's you and I cross the country together. So I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I wanna go to all the national parks and museums, you know, and then I wanna stay in Florida I have a small ranch now with horses and chicken, and I'm setting all that up.
That was a vision.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that was a vision. I remember this discussion.
And for me, it's a way to blackmail my kids into, okay, you have nowhere better to go than to come and visit me at my ranch, you know, or let's go to Bahamas or whatever. You know, so for me, this part of my career and my life.
So will you stay there for the holidays then?
Yes,
Miami?
Yes. Yeah, Sofia doesn't know, but I'm canceling the Europe vacation because I need to be also.
Okay, this will come out after you've told her.
Exactly. But
no, so you'll drive cross country, land in Miami, then you're going to drive back too?
No, I'm shipping my car back.
I was going to say, because that's a lot
January,
too.
And the idea in this new chapter is how to be productive, how to focus in things that I'm good and I'm having fun doing. And now I want to be the best grandfather in the world. You know, I wanna keep being a great dad, and I enjoy very, very much my personal life. So, my family life, it's very important to me. So
that's a gift.
No,
and like this healthy divorce of yours is a role model for everybody too.
It was the right thing to do, and I'm looking for my significant other. You know, I know she's listening to us.
She is. I'm testimony to that because I got my divorce right before you did, and I remember you and I talking about it, and I was like, I'm never going to get married again. I'm like done, and now look at me, I just got married.
And you're fully in love.
And moving cross country,
and
you just have to kind of like, okay.
And that's what the first thing I told you when I saw you is that you're glowing.
Yeah.
And
people say that. I mean, it's funny. I'll be honest with you, Luis. I loved there's so many highlights. I was here for 20 years. I was in Hollywood for 20 years. There's so many highlights from that. Honestly, working with you guys was one of the highlights. But I was done. Like, I was tired at the end. And you remember, because at the end when Fox was sold to Disney, and that was just hard, right? And then for me, it's funny because it's your birthday, but for me, COVID was my opportunity to be like, okay, what do I really want to do, right? Like what? Because I had gone through the divorce, and then it was like, I'm out of a job, which really was the first time in my life I was out of a job, like kind of involuntarily. And I think COVID, and, I went to Michigan. I went to Northern Michigan and just basically lived there for a year. Drove cross country with the dogs, and I just had to figure it out. I mean, so I get what you're saying. Like, I get the cross country drive and just being in beautiful, inspiring nature places and things, because
absorbing, yeah,
and just listening, like just opening yourself up and listening. And I mean, even with the book, I mean, the book's been out 2 years now. Like, when I wrote the book, I had so low expectations of the book. And then when it started to work and it started to spawn all these different things, and I was like, okay, I'll go do speaking. Okay, I'll coach. Okay, let's do a podcast. I mean, I've just stayed open. I don't ever want to be done like you. No, I'm never going to be done.
We're never going to be done. Mm-hmm. And at the end, listening to you, I just realized that this is something that happens to most successful people that we know, is that we dare to listen to that little voice whenever it's time to change. And we dare to jump into places that aren't. For you to leave, you came, you conquered, you left.
Yeah, totally.
And you left at the highest.
I took a risk.
There was no bigger job.
Yeah.
There was no, where else where you go, and to reinvent yourself and have a happy outcome. Yeah. I think that is the biggest luxury that we can give ourselves.
But I think it's why you and I are friends. I think it's why I have so much respect for Sofía, because you mentioned it earlier. Like, I realized what I did was a risk. And I realized, like, I had to really believe in myself, and I had to really take a leap. And the funny thing is when I run into people, because now, being back in LA, you run into people at restaurants and different places, and people are like, oh, I thought you'd retired, which is like the worst thing. I'm like, I've got to work better on my narrative if you think I retired, because I'm actually working as hard as I used to. I'm just working differently. And, yeah, I mean, it is that little voice. It's that little voice.
And in a way, it's a gift when people run into you and they smile. And you bring good memories to them. And they like
people
you.
say, oh, you look better. Yeah. Like, I was at the point where it had run me down a little bit, right? And I needed to recharge my batteries. And so it's funny. And honestly, Luis, you and I were talking before we started the podcast, if I got called for the right job, I never say no. Like, I answer every phone call. I return every email. Any headhunter that calls me or any contact calls me. Michael called me last week and we updated. And he asked me the same thing. And I said, I'm happy, but I never say never, because I'm not done.
If he moves you. Yeah, if you think it's interesting, if
I can make a difference,
you jump right in.
You do.
I'm advising right now a knee company, and I'm fascinated, and I get to see my friend who has a prosthetics company look at how to grow their business and how to go. And I'm having fun. And at the same time, we're looking, what is Sofía's next play and what is the next product that we have. And I think it's exciting. I think what the white hair brings to us is the lessons of what to say no to.
Yes.
And where do you think that you can win, have fun, and be competitive?
Yeah, I think it's that joy filter you talked about, and like, yeah, and you trust your gut. I think the other thing that comes with the white hair is you trust your gut.
You learn.
You learn because you've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes, but they're kind of like little scars in you that you learn from.
You know something that now that you talk about scars, something that hit me hard. And how beautiful the way the brain works. In 2019, when I decided that I needed a divorce and everything, I truly thought that I had peaked in my career. We were about to do the last season of Modern Family. I was afraid, okay, this is the greatest you'll ever do. From here down, it's downhill. Yeah. Get ready for that. And I started getting a huge imposter syndrome. Like, oh, you just got lucky. Look, you got all the way here. And and I was really struggling. Trusting my judgment, trusting myself, what I wanted to do, trusting if I really want to get divorced, do I really want to leave the Latin market and move fully to LA and try to, and then I read a line somewhere, and it said, imposter syndrome only happens to successful people. And that thing cured it immediately. I was like, yeah, okay. And boom, I bounced back, man, and I'm more successful than ever now.
No, and I mean, I look at from that time when you had that till now. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
So much fun to see you.
Have an amazing trip.
Thank you.
Have an amazing birthday. Yeah, I'm going to be texting you to see where you are.
I'm actually going to now listen to the whole new.
Yes, when these all come out. Yeah, go back and listen to the first. There's some great. I'm really happy with them. Yeah, there's a first season. This is going to be the second season.
This is great.
No, it's been fun.
Spread the word. This is good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
It's so good to see you.
Thanks for spending this time with us on Ask for an Answer. If this conversation sparks something for you, don't just nod and move on. Take one idea, one question, one uncomfortable and bring it into your next meeting, your next one-on-one, or your next big decision. That's how this becomes a practice, not just a podcast. If you're leading a team, a classroom, a company, or just your own next chapter, you don't have to have it all figured out. You do have to be willing to listen, to ask better questions, and to create the kind of safety where people will actually tell you what they see. If this episode was useful, share it with someone who's in the arena with you. And if you want more tools, stories, and real talk leadership moments, make sure you follow the show and leave a review so others can find us. I'm Jim Fielding. Thank you for being here, for leading with less armor and more intention. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep asking for an answer.